This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shishina Rowell. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, we begin with news from the tropics once again as meteorologists continue to track the latest system heading for the Bahamas. Sabrina Brown has our top story.
Near the Leeward Islands has local weather officials on alert. Officer in charge of the Freeport Met Office, Kirk James, says as this system approaches the Bahamas, there is concern as conditions could be favorable for intensification.
As it is projected on a west-northwest track toward our southeastern islands, toward the Bahama Islands, the waters are very warm around this area, averaging about 86 degrees Fahrenheit. And you'll need, of course, between 80 and 81, 83 degrees for cyclone development. So there's much concern and legitimate concern at that.
He says while there is uncertainty about the future of this storm, islands in the northern Bahamas are expected to feel some effects from this system within the coming days.
For now, it looks like pretty much a rainmaker. Expected the greatest impact over our area. We're responsible for Bimini, Grand Bahama, and Abaco in the northern Bahamas, northwest, extreme northwest Bahamas. So greatest impact in our area seem to be water-wise, and it'll look like Sunday, Monday, possibly into Tuesday.
James is appealing to residents to be prepared.
It has been said that the main thread running through all major disasters are lack of awareness and lack of preparation. So we don't want our residents to fall in this category, unprepared and unaware. So they need to pay close attention to the official news media and not that of the international ones. Even the Hurricane Center asks residents to make sure pay attention to your local weather services wherever you are.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
Police in Grand Bahama are searching for the person or persons responsible for a shooting incident yesterday that has left a man dead. This is the island's 13th murder for 2016, and police are seeking the public's assistance in bringing this matter to a close. Megan Shepard reports.
Another murder recorded on the streets of Grand Bahama shortly after 4 p.m. Tuesday afternoon. Police were called to the scene on Fawcett Lane, where the body of a male was found lying on the ground. Shortly after 4 p.m. on Tuesday afternoon, officers were called to the scene of the island's latest homicide, where the body of a male was found with gunshot wounds about the body. Onlookers gathered as officers combed the area. Police could be seen surrounding a black vehicle with its passenger door ajar, just a few short feet away from the body, but police officials could not confirm a connection to the shooting death. That vehicle was eventually towed from the apartment complex. Moments after the body was transported from the scene by mortuary officials, the mother of the victim arrived and immediately became emotional. Press Liaison Officer ASP Teresita Pinder says that investigations are still in the early stages and little information is known at this time.
We are again appealing to the public. If anyone may know of any information that could assist us, no matter how small or minute the information may seem, please contact us at the Central Detective Unit office or at the Police Control Room or at the nearest police station.
While the police has not released an official identity of the victim, ZNS News has learned that he is 28-year-old Gennaro Samuel McPhee, a Grand Bahamian man who reports indicate is known to police. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Well, members of the Royal Bahamas Police Force are on the move. Officials say they have made a significant dent in an organized group that has committed its share of crime and criminality on this island. Tonight, the officer in charge of Grand Bahama says a group called the Nike Boys is of concern to the local police force, and they are doing their part to dismantle this gang. Authorities on Grand Bahama say they have their eyes set on a notorious group, a so-called gang that goes by the name of Nike Boys. Officer in charge of Grand Bahama, Emerick Seymour, says that any group that seeks to promote lawlessness is of major concern to the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
The Nike Boys is a concern to us. I can tell you too that we would have, we feel, destabilized them, because quite a number of those, the persons associated with them are in fact in prison at the moment. And so we feel pretty good. We're making inroads in that gang. There are fractions of it perhaps still about, but of course we feel that some of the main players in that gang are currently incarcerated, even as we speak.
So just what types of crimes have these persons associated with this group reportedly committed?
We had one for murder, armed robberies, and the like. Yeah.
He says this group is responsible for committing some of the latest heinous crimes on this island. While sharing some statistics on the most popular age group of young men in Her Majesty's prison, he points out that crime does not pay.
In HMP now we have a population of about, I don't know, probably about 1,300 thereabouts. And about 80%, 85% of them are young men between the age of 18 and 35, 18 and 30. And so there you see a lot of our young people are in fact young men are getting themselves in trouble at an early age. When you do the comparison between the young females or the young women who are in fact in prison, then you'll see what I'm talking about.
Seymour says based on their investigations, young boys and even girls are affiliated with the Nike Boys gang here on Grand Bahama. But he sternly warns that those who are interested or involved in the Nike Boys gang to think long and hard before committing themselves to a life of criminality.
I implore you, young man and woman, who was thinking of it, to desist, to discontinue. Change your mind, change your ways, because trust me, if you do, the long arm of the law will get you, because we have too many people. This country is too small, and we have too much at stake to allow any small percentage of wayward, lawless individuals to make it difficult for the wider population.
And he says if persons choose not to heed this warning, they can rest assured that police officials will continue to seek out those who are wreaking havoc on this island. Switching gears now, it is the country's newest cellular provider. Just this past July, IRCA announced that NewCo 2015 Limited was awarded the second license for the provision of cellular services to the Bahamian market. On Wednesday afternoon, the company held a press conference near their cell site. Our Italia Hall was there.
NewCo, a new mobile network, was established following Cable Bahamas Limited winning the bid for a cellular license. NewCo's shareholders are Cable Bahamas Limited with a 48.25% equity share and Holding Co., a Bahamian government-owned entity, with a 51.75% equity share. Chief Executive Officer of NewCo, Damian Blackburn, says the company seeks to provide Bahamians with choice, service, and value.
We're ensuring that a next-generation cellular service for the people of the Bahamas is being delivered. This site is the physical result of the effort of a very focused body of people engaged to make the vision of our network a reality. Our teams are laser-focused on completing Phase 1 and getting our planned world-class service active.
Now directly behind me is cell site number 4 that's located on Grenfell Avenue. Before October 1st, there will be a total of 22 cell sites constructed on Grand Bahama.
That at this point, 20 of our 22 planned cell sites have been fully constructed on Grand Bahama and are currently undergoing radio network installation, commissioning and testing. Our construction crews have been building the cell sites and erecting the towers. Fiber splicers and network management teams have been carrying out the connectivity responsibilities. Software teams have been preparing the field and back-end systems, and administrative teams have been providing the support needed to coordinate all of this work.
With the advent of this new cellular company and the erection of new cell towers, there were some environmental and health concerns. A question was raised as to whether or not the cell towers will have any negative health effects on residents.
I would never bring something to large amounts of people that are dangerous. That would be against all of the principles of myself personally, and I'm not going to expose the Bahamian people to any risk whatsoever.
Now, according to the company's rollout plan, they will expand to other islands in the Bahamas within 6 months. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Atalia Hall.
A leading technical institution off to a great start as orientation was held today on Grand Bahama. John Davis Roll fills us in.
The orientation ceremony for the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institution comes as the leading state-run technical school is about to enter yet another phase of its development. With increased enrollment this year, the growth of BTVI on Grand Bahama is said to parallel this country's increasing demand for skilled blue-collar workers throughout the country. The role that this northern island plays as the industrial capital of the Bahamas was underscored by one of BTVI's top executives, Bob Robinson.
I really see the Freeport campus as being the jewel in the crown. This is clearly the industrial capital of the Bahamas, and I think we have big things that will happen here in the next few weeks, the next few months. We've been talking with government and industry officials about the need for skilled employees, skilled tradespeople, and in large measure, they will be coming from Freeport. And so I personally have seen the opportunities here from the very first day that I was starting my new job. I was here, I think, within 48 hours of starting in Nassau. I was here in Freeport, and I've continued to see that this is where we, as an institution, have a lot of growth potential.
As these industrial giants continue to expand, Robinson says, so must the programs they offer at BTVI. Guest speaker Valdez Russell says BTVI training and education are keys that unlocks the doors to many opportunities.
It's important for you to understand that this is right where you're supposed to be, screw face and all. After orientation is over, the work begins because you must do your part to create a better, a modern, and a prosperous Bahamas. Just for a moment, I want you to think about just how important your role is here in our country. The Bahamians who drive the success of the Grand Bahama shipyard are technical and vocational experts. Imagine if we didn't have apprentices who worked tirelessly to complete projects on time and on task. We would still be waiting on just one ship. The people who make others in this country to look good are technical and vocational experts. And if you don't believe me, look around the room at people who have bad weave. Look around the room at people whose haircut isn't lined up right. Look around the room at people who need a perm. It's because they didn't go to a good technical and vocational expert.
John Davis Rowe, ZNS Network News.
Stay with us. There's more news right after this.